Hi, everyone. I'm Caroline Stevens, and this is another episode of Let's Talk. So, this week I'm joined by a beautiful lady, entrepreneur, owns her own company called Mogul Matchmakers, which we'll be talking about soon, and also a book. She's written a book, so she's also an author. So, everybody, let's say hi to Lisa Palmer. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, good. Spring is coming and I can see a new picture, like it definitely looks like spring.
Yes. I decided to put a new background on so that it makes you feel sort of bright and alive, doesn't it? Weather change.
Yeah, yeah, the weather change makes you feel a bit happier, doesn't it? As you say, just need a pina colada and we'll both be happy.
Yeah, on a beach
Well,
somewhere in Hawaii or something like that.
yeah, yeah, that's
Anyway,
what
let's tell everybody who you are, Lisa Palmer. You own a company called Mogul Matchmakers. You're also a relationship expert.
yeah.
Boy, I bet you're needed for a lot of those.
Yes, especially at the moment. Yeah, yeah, I've
I
about
bet. I
20
bet.
years experience, yeah, dating and relationships. So yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. With lots
Wow.
so yeah, a lot of people need my help or the company. So yeah, it's rewarding, but yeah, can be quite challenging at
Do
times.
you
But it
find though that, when, I mean, do you take it all in? I mean, it's a bit like doctors and surgeons, they treat a patient as a patient. And once that patient's, they've done the surgery, it's off their head. But is it kind of the same with you when you speak to couples or whoever, once they've left your room or however you do it at the moment because of COVID via Zoom probably, is it you just on to the next one, or are there any particular relationships or people that you've helped that is really stuck in your mind and stuff like that, and you really feel that you really need to help these people?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, Caroline. And yeah, absolutely. So I will only take on people who I feel I can help and who want to change. Because if you don't want to change,
No.
it's not going to work. So you have to want to change. And I spend a lot of time with my client getting to know them, and I'm like, okay, I know I can help you, and this is what we've got to do. And I think it's so rewarding for me to see that change of, like, they're coming in maybe not confident or they're not feeling good about themselves, and then to
Yeah.
sort of see like the roadmap. So it isn't just about putting a partner in front of them, it's about changing the way they feel, they think, and you have to love yourself. If you love yourself, then everyone will love you. So you have
Yeah.
to you have to go on that journey. But most of my clients, I'd say pretty much 95% are like my very good friends now, like we stay in touch, like if
Yeah,
they've
that's
got
good. So you do actually get personally involved with some of them.
yeah, I mean, I probably shouldn't get that close, but I that's me. I'm a people person, and it's my
Yeah.
business. I love people, and I like helping people. So
Yeah, I get
yeah,
that. I totally get that. It's a bit like me. I have people on to interview like I'm doing today, and we chat away and we get to know a bit about each other, and we stay in touch for ages.
it's lovely.
It's
Nice.
kind of weird, but I'm like you. I'm a people person. I have to have social contact. So this bloody COVID, this lockdown has really been hard
It's,
for me,
it's hard, isn't it? Yeah, it's
for
really hard for a lot
everyone.
of. Yeah, and people are like really struggling, like even with anxiety, like and for when we're arranging dates, like we're sort of putting people in the park and going for like a walk, and where they're like, I've got anxiety and I can understand it. So we're helping them and coaching them with that. But we're saying another way to do it is take like a pet or something like that. To take your dog, because your dog's your best friend and it sort of distracts your mind. So you can then
Yeah.
not have to worry about the actual date. And then it's like, especially if you took my dog on a date, oh my God, she's a nightmare. She'd be running off like taking everyone's sandwiches, or she's a nightmare, but she's lovely. So yeah, it's a difficult time for a lot of
So let
people.
me ask you then about Mogul Matchmakers. So, I mean, what obviously Mogul Matchmaker speaks for itself. We know what that is. But I mean, how did you start that? What made you
Yeah, so
start that?
yeah, no, I so when I was about 17, I went my parents run a big property company, development company, and my dad had lots of guys there who would be like, I'm single, I've had enough, and I want to find a lady, or I want to go on a date. And I worked in this office with over 200 women, and I would be the same. I'd be like, they'd be complaining I'm single or I'm
Yeah.
lonely, or he hasn't paid me any attention. So I just sat there sort of like just taking it all in, the 17-year-old. And I was like, oh, I set somebody up on their first date when I was 17, and they got on so well, but like they had a lovely time, but it gave me more of a buzz, and I loved it. And
Yeah.
I literally felt that was my niche and that was my calling.
Yeah. So
and
like,
then,
it's like you achieve something.
yeah, it's like if it literally like it fulfilled me more than anything. And I was like, oh, this is so rewarding. And so through like years of different companies working in, I was always sort of the agony aunt, and people would come to me, and I thought, I have to do this. I've got to do it myself. So that's where I started my journey. I like went and trained as a relationship coach, dating coach, image coach. I wanted to have all the tools there to be able to help somebody. So if they do come in for matchmaking, sometimes I don't, if they need some guidance or life coaching, I'm trained as that, but I will send them to the right person, because sometimes, it's like matchmaking, you might go to a different therapist or life coach, or and you have to sort of be able to be on their wavelength and understand you. So that's why I trained and had all the experience to be able to help my client.
Okay. So when you take on clients, are you kind of selective in who you take on? Do you really vet them? And
yeah, sure. Yeah, so we do like background checks to make sure they are who they say they are, because I have to protect whoever's coming into
yes,
our
of course,
agency.
of course.
So we vet everyone. But to be honest, it's not about the money. It's about the person. As long as they're genuine and they genuinely want to find love, then I'm the right person. If you just want someone on your arm, or a quick fling, that's not me. And
No.
admit that I'm not interested. We put in so much effort and time. I want you to find love. I want you to find your soulmate, and that's me, and that's what
So
I'm
let's
about.
just say then someone comes to you, a woman or a man, whoever comes to you, you vet them, you obviously interview them to find out what they like, what they don't like, all that sort of stuff. How then do you match up? How do you know who to match up with them?
Yeah, so another good question. You have to really get to know your client, and I say I've probably got more emotional intelligence than anything else, really. So I was lucky. I've got to give her that gift. And once you've interviewed somebody, I don't know, it's like I know them, and it's really weird. And I'm like, I know exactly who you need to go on a date with, and I just feel it inside, and I get like these weird feelings. I'm like, right, I know you'd be perfect with, so and so, and sometimes we haven't got that person on our books, and that's fine. And as you say, I'm not going to just tick your boxes to match you. I actually want to find the love of your life. So that does take time, So
Yes, because you've got to then go out and find that person.
Yeah, that's it. And sometimes we haven't got them, so it does take time. So I always say to clients, like, if you think it's going to happen overnight, you're absolutely mistaken. And I'm not going to like just pass you over just because he or she like ticks 75% of your boxes. I want you to find your soulmate. That's what I was put on this planet for, to help people.
When the words don't flow and you fall down, when the world is turning you around, you drown. In love, there's no way out. Spending years just living day by day, you realize it's easier to stay forever in love, so they say. But baby, I know it ain't the truth. I'm faking this love for me and you. Oh, I wanna magic something true, so we can fly away. What you gonna do when love ain't enough, and you're losing your touch? Don't give up, don't give up.
Very spiritual in a way, what you do. I mean, to actually feel those vibes from people, and as you just said, to know exactly who they are and exactly who they are going to need. That's kind of a spiritual thing, really.
Yeah, it is actually. A lot of people say, I don't know, like it's as if like the angels help me.
Yeah.
But I feel things and I just know. And even like within a minute, I know somebody's like, I just know if they're genuine or if they're lying. And I don't like disrespect anyone. I'm just like, I just don't think it's going to work for us working together. But, maybe speak to this person, they can help you.
Yeah.
I'd never send anyone away, and I want to help them to be a better person. But for matchmaking, then I just sometimes know I'm not the right person to help them. So, but as you say, gift from God, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I was reading a lot, when I knew this interview was coming up, I did a bit of reading and research on you, which I always do on my guests. And I read somewhere that Mogul Matchmakers puts quite high profile people together. So obviously you must have, I mean, I'm not going to ask you who, because you must have an agreement where it's in strictest of confidence. But
yes,
how does high mogul clients compare to non-high? I mean, for example, a politician, how would he compare to a bricklayer?
Yeah. I don't, that's like, because everyone goes, oh, mogul, but I said mogul actually means like VIP, or a very important person.
Yes.
So I don't see it. It isn't like the money thing. Obviously, we, like me and my team, we have to have like, we have to get paid for our job, but
of course,
people don't understand, like, to go into like high society events, clubs and that, it costs like $3 or $4 grand just to be in some of those events. So people it does cost a lot of money, so you don't understand like the amount of effort and time you put into it. But if it's a politician or a bricklayer, it doesn't matter, as long as they're kind, they're genuine, they're a nice, decent person, and they want love, then it really doesn't matter. As I said, okay, the fee is expensive, but actually it isn't when you're finding your soulmate. And the amount of effort we put in, it could take up to 6 months, it could take a year, sometimes it's taken longer, sometimes it's taken less. So there's a lot of effort and a lot of work.
Yeah, I know. It's like anything. I mean, I do PR. That's my business, and people go, "What? How much?" But if you're doing PR, it like everything takes a lot of time. It's not like I'm being asked to draw a picture or make a biscuit or a cake. It takes planning, prepping, and all these things take time. So that what you do warrants the fee you charge. And I guess if you want to find the love of your life, then, well, once you found them, it still costs you.
Well, yeah, that's it. Especially for the guys. I'm like, right, we used to remind her, like, right, it's her birthday, like in 2 weeks' time or a week's time. They're like, thanks for letting us know. I said, but you say, the expense hasn't gone there.
Oh, do you have to do that? Do you have to remind them when it's their birthdays and stuff?
Yeah, we do out of courtesy, really. Yeah, we do, just because, and probably I'm the world's worst. I forget, like my mum's like, your dad's birthday coming. Oh yeah, shit, I forget. So I have everything diarised now, and I've got my team, like send me reminders, right? And so that's what we do for our clients, because there's nothing worse. You walk down there that morning and it's your partner's birthday and you've forgotten. There's nothing worse.
I know. Do you know what? I totally get that, because every year, myself and my husband, we both forget our wedding anniversary.
Do you? Yeah, and that's the thing,
we both forget it, and not only do we forget it, we get the dates mixed up. We argue. Well, what do you mean it's today? No, it's the 4th. No, it's not. It's the 2nd. But we've both forgotten, and we've both forgotten. And I think that because we've been together so long, and it's like every day for us is great. We have great time every day. There's no special days. Every day is a special day. So it's just like it don't mean anything anymore. It gets to a point where it doesn't mean anything anymore. It's, we don't want to celebrate it with a special day, because every day we just celebrate being together. So it's really weird. But like all the kids say, like, no anniversary cards this year. No, we forgot again,
Well, that's so sweet. As you say, and you should treat every day like, that the person in your life is so special to you, because, if they're gone, like my nan, her partner was taken from her when he was, how old was she? She was in her 40s, and she's had like a lonely life the rest of her life. And I felt so sorry for her. She was just so upset. So you should celebrate the person in your life.
Absolutely. At the moment, at the time, at the time that they're with you. Every day.
Nerves sometimes, doesn't
sometimes I could strangle him and he could strangle me, probably. But
But as you say, you love them at the end of the day.
But that's what relationships are about, aren't they? you know.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I hear people say, oh, we never argue. And I just think, no, that's absolute bull. Everybody argues, you know.
It's good to have like a little, you know, little Barney or something. Or I must admit, I'm like, I don't like arguing, but then I'm like, I'll get the ump and I'll go, you know, watch telly in the other room for like an hour or two, and then I'm calmed down, you know. But as you say, it's good to air it or just get it off your chest.
Yeah, you have to. I think it's just part of keeping the relationship alive as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you need to. Yeah, you need to like talking about it, because it's so important. You know, if you don't talk or communicate, then things just build up and they get worse and worse and worse. And it's just so important to talk.
Absolutely, talk is the best way. You know, we've always done for years and years and years and years. You know, we both work, so we're like ships that pass in the night. But every Monday at the beginning of the week, we sit down over breakfast together and talk about what happened last week and what's going to happen this week, you know. So it's so important. It's really important talking in any relationship, between friends, other family members, you know, talking is the best policy. I remember there was a TV advert for phone, British Telecom, I think. And what was the advert? You know, it's good to talk or something like that. And, it's so true. Talking is all that matters, because that's how we communicate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as you say, it is important, whoever and relationship, and taking time out for each other to talk and communicate.
Absolutely.
Could it be true? This energy that flows between us two. While we dancing close, it's like a sweet taboo, you know. Why won't you take my love? 'Cause every time you call my name, it's like a song I wanna hear again. Will you be the sun when outside it's raining? I think I like it, don't wanna fight it, but something about this makes me get so lost in the rhythm.
So, relationships, you put people together, but now you've written a book, which is totally the opposite of putting people together. It's called The D Word, which is about divorce.
It is, yeah, because it's the D word. When he's got to go, he's got to go. And everyone's like, it's got a picture of you probably might see a visual, you know, like putting a man in a bin, but it's not. It's actually like, this is for like really bad relationships when he's got to go. And the stats I was reading, I think it's in the States, USA is 277 divorces per hour. I mean, it's just like astronomical.
That is mind-boggling.
And 13 an hour in the UK, and that's just divorce, but then separation. But the reason, as I said, I'm all about bringing people together, but if you're in the wrong relationship, I was myself. I got divorced, I was separated, and I walked out, and I had £250, a bag of clothes, my son, and a cheese and pickle sandwich. I had nothing. I had nowhere to go, nowhere to turn. And I was so lost, and I wanted to help other people. If you're in that really bad state, you're not sure what to do, where to go. And I went to Citizens Advice, and, you know, I don't want to like disrespect them and that, but obviously they have to sit on the shelf. They can't give you like the right information. No. And that's what I took. I wanted to help that person who's in that bad relationship, or narcissist, or, you know, he's bullying you, or even maybe she's bullying you, you know, like it comes both ways.
Yes, of course.
So, you know, there's good and bad in everyone, and I wanted to give them a roadmap of like how to get out of that relationship, and to like, you know, I'm the bridge, you know, so from that bad life, that bad relationship, to like a new life. Maybe you're in like you're okay, but you still like feel like, you know, you've lost your mojo, or perhaps you've been single for 10 years or 3 years, and you're just like, I don't know where to turn or what to do. So that's why I've got like, literally, I call them the best in class. So I've got one of the leading child psychologists. So if, you know, you have separated or you've divorced, and, you know, like your child's mind, you don't know what they're thinking and how to talk to them. So I've got Dr. Sarah. She's like given some great tips and advice. I've got sort of the leading psychologists. I've got I was going to say Mark. He is absolutely incredible. He's a family lawyer. He's been in the business for about 28 years, and what he doesn't know, like, isn't worth knowing. And he gives you so much guidance and advice. So perhaps, say for example, you were married to perhaps an Indian chap, and he's just said, you know, like, we're getting divorced, but I'm taking the children away. You're like, what do you do? So we've given all the strategies, all the help, all the advice there, so you're protected. And as well as that, we've got like one of the leading wealth managers in divorce. We have fitness, nutrition, skincare, styling, literally you name how to
everything.
Life
Life
coaching. So I wanted to be able to give you every tip, every advice, and there's a few funny stories in there from some of my clients as well. But I wanted to give you the tools to get over that bridge, to start your new life, you know, and to have your mojo back. And there's about 22 hours worth of like different exercises to sit there, right, okay, I need to do this. This is how I start my new life. And that's the whole reason the book. I just want you to be happy.
So basically, it's not only about, you know, when you're talking about stylists and makeup and all that stuff. So it's not just about rebuilding yourself physically. It's rebuilding yourself mentally so that you can move on.
Absolutely, yeah, mentally, physically, and I've got one of the leading Harley Street clinics, and what they've done is, you know, like for even like face cream. So when you're going through a bad time, your skin, like it kind of doesn't look great. Sometimes, you know, you look great. She's like giving some great tips in there. Like you can get this pot of cream, which is £4, I think, or a few pounds, you know. And I was expecting, you know, when we worked together and that, I said, I want to be able to give everyone who, you know, if people don't have money, or if they've got money, everything they need to turn their life around. So it isn't about expensive treatments, you know, you can get this, or, you know, like your wardrobe is just a few key things, items you need in there, and you can literally like rejuvenate your whole wardrobe.
Yes, of course.
So that's what I wanted to do. So if you've got money, haven't got money, lost, not sure where to turn, this book will help you.
So this, if you're lost, this book, The D Word, you'll be found. Just read it, buy it, and well, got to buy it first and then read it. So where is the book available?
So it's on Mooney and Lambert, I think mooneyandlambert.com, and it's on Amazon. If you just put in the D word, when he's got to go, and you'll see like an image of a woman holding a man over a bin. So I think we need to do the bin challenge. But as I said, you know, I love men, but it's just the bad ones. And this book can actually help men as well. You know, it's not just for women.
No. So let me ask you then. The book is obviously for men and women.
Yes.
But from your experience, do you find that men and women both, you know, deal with divorce differently?
Yeah. The problem is with men, they're like, okay, you know, I'll go meet a new partner and sort of step into the next relationship. And sometimes women do as well. You know, we're both quite similar in some aspects, but, you know, you really need to like take time out. You know, I always say it takes at least 2 years to, if you're going through divorce, to sort of get you back to you again. And, you know, love yourself inside and out. And that is a problem. A lot of people think, oh, I just need another relationship, I need someone there. And you don't, you know, you need to like self-build, right, and reevaluate who you are, what you're looking for, and think long term, you know, do I actually want someone who's X, Y, Z, you know?
I suppose you need to really build a relationship with yourself first.
Yes, you do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you need to love you and get you mentally ready, because you're just jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. You really are. So that's why the book, you know, we've given strategies and tips and like advice and guidance, you know, and even like how to find your next new partner. You know, this is what you need to do, and this will help.
I let it go, baby. I let it go, darling. Oh, right there, baby, don't you lose it anywhere. I let it go, baby. I let it go, darling. Oh, right there, baby, don't you lose it anywhere. Hang on in there, baby, darling. Oh, I'm gonna give you more of everything possible. Hang on in there, baby,
Brilliant. Brilliant. So what are you doing? I know it's very hard because of COVID and lockdown, although the lockdown's eased off a little bit.
Mm.
I mean, what are you doing yourself to promote the book? I mean, are you doing a book signing at all? Or what are you doing?
Yeah, it's been quite difficult, as you said, because you can't get out there and you
No.
can't do sign. But yeah, I'm looking to do some signings soon. But I've got quite a lot on because we're filming my own sort of TV show, which is super exciting.
Good. Oh, tell us a bit more about that.
Can't say too much at the moment, but we're filming next week actually, and it's sort of
Brilliant.
the US. So it's super, super exciting. So we've got that, but also we've got Mogul Love, which is in the book. And it's kind of like a portal or a community. So if you're sort of struggling, it's literally they're taking the book and it's then online. So when you buy the book, it'll give you more information about what it does. But if you're struggling, need help, want to learn new skills, you want to educate yourself, perhaps you want new hobbies, it could be cooking with me and Rusty Lee. You've got some videos on there. You've got if you want to do knitting, or perhaps you want to dance, dancing lessons. We've got some of the people from Strictly Come Dancing. There's lots of new hobbies, new skills, but then there's also a new community. So if you want to talk to women about anything and everything, we've got breakout rooms or a place where you can just talk and be yourself. So it's just for women, I'm afraid.
That sounds fantastic.
So
where can people find these rooms?
So it's www.mogulove.com.
Okay.
And we've got about 28 experts now. They're there to help guide you, give you advice. I've got videos, blogs, seminars, and then, as I said, we've got the fun bits to do. So if you want to cook along with me and Rusty, and I am the world's worst cook, Caroline, obviously you want to have a tea. But it's just some fun things to do, and then there's jobs on there as well. So there's a lot.
Brilliant.
A lot there. People, but also to make new friends and brilliant.
So, brilliant. So it sounds like you've been quite busy during lockdown.
So the book took about a year to write. So obviously when the first lockdown, I was still sort of like working on it and that, so to get that ready, so it just takes time. And then obviously with the community, like this has been 2 years in the making as well. So there's been a lot going on, and the TV show, and the book.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
And as you say, because you are in a bad place sometimes, you're like, oh, I can't go out, I can't do this. So I thought, right, I need to throw myself into this, and I think that's what mentally for me helped me, because you can get a bit down and a bit fed up.
You can. Well, yeah, I know how it's been. I mean, my history is the music business, obviously. I mostly do music, PR and stuff like that, and the amount of really top quality musicians, session musicians that I've worked with, and I know, they've all at the beginning, like you said, in the first lockdown, it was very, very difficult. And then everybody thought, oh, you know what, sod this. We're creative. We're creative people. That's what we do. So let's create. So they've, in fact, there's been more musicians and singer-songwriters creating stuff in this last lockdown than ever before. It's I mean, inundated with creations. In fact, I think songwriters are writing more because they've had nothing else to do. Musicians can't go out and gig, so they've been stuck at home. If they've got their own recording studios at home, they're recording at home. So actually, it's been not too bad.
I spoke to a couple of their sort of clients, and obviously they're friends, but some of them are like musicians and singers, and as you said, some of them have been creating stuff, and I think probably by next year now, I think we're going to hear some amazing songs. Hopefully I just don't think about COVID, because I don't think anyone wants to hear the C word.
Exactly. It's a new C word, isn't it?
It is. We do.
It's a new meaning for the C word. Anyway, Lisa, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us on Let's Talk. It's been a pleasure, and hope to come back again and talk to me again about your new projects.
Yeah, absolutely. Once we've sorted out the TV and Mogul Love, that'd be lovely. And as you say, hopefully there's some guidance out there to help lots of people. So, but no, it's lovely to meet you.
I'm sure. And you too. It's been a pleasure. And can I just ask, that's a beautiful view out of that window. Whereabouts are you?
Oh, in Tunbridge Wells. Yeah,
Oh, what a lovely view.
we're lucky we've got the sun, but you're actually, I hid the dog. She was trying to get in on the call, so I had to give her a bonio.
Oh,
She'd
bless
be
her.
like, she'd literally be on my.
That's okay. I'm a dog lover. That's okay.
Oh, yeah. She's a golden retriever. She's I love her so much. She's so
I can
cheeky.
imagine. Well, we lost our dog year before last, but she lived to the ripe old age of 15. And she was, so she was our little Lucy Lou. She was our baby. And, you know, people don't understand, do they, who don't have dogs, you know.
Yeah, she literally is she's like my princess, you know, like if I could carry her around, I would do. I love her to bits. Yeah, she's the sweetest dog like ever. Yeah, she's definitely a gift from like the angels.
How wonderful. Perfect match, you and your dog. Perfect match.
My other half says you two look like each other because she's got like blonde hair, and honestly, Carol, if you saw me running, it's a bit like Phoebe from Friends. I'm like a bit like that. So is the dog. So it's quite funny. So you two look so alike.
Well, they say that, don't they? They say that owners usually end up looking like their dogs.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if she'd be too pleased. Yeah, she's got like a little pink rain mac when she goes out. They're like, oh my goodness.
Well, you need to get a matching one. You must.
Yeah, I do. I want to get one. We're twinning then.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Lisa, thank you so much once again. It's been a pleasure having you on Let's Talk, and good luck with the book.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.